everyone. Welcome to the Board of Selectmen meeting. Tonight is Tuesday, June 16, 2015. If I could have a motion to review and approve the agenda. Robert.
Madam Chair, through you to the board, if the board would respectfully consider amending the agenda for right after public input, the appointment of the conservation agent, and under the town administrator's report, adding a number 5, which is a request of a vote to relinquish the Empire City's all-alcohol license.
Okay.
Thank you.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
just at the end, just a couple words on J-Boss. Selectmen's questions, new business, I guess.
Okay. There's a hole in the table there.
Make a motion to approve the agenda as amended?
Seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Agenda is approved. All right, couple of announcements. Stated previously, the Board of Selectmen's summer schedule will be July 14th, 2015 and August 11th, 2015. As previously stated, we will hold a meeting if required. Also, the 4th of July celebration will be celebrated on the 4th at Peroni Park. Parade starts at 3 p.m. with the fireworks at dusk. Okay. Hi. Anyone here for public input? Going once,
Cool.
going twice. All right. So we have the appointment of the conservation agent. Robert, if you could do the introductions?
Yeah. Madam Chair, through you and the board, if there is an objection, I'd ask the Chairman of the Conservation Commission, Mr. Daniels, as well as Commission members Jessica Guino and Mr. Bacon, to come up to the table with the candidate for appointment, Ms. Michelle Grenier.
Come on board.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you so much for having us tonight.
Thank you for coming.
We're very excited to tell you that through a fairly intensive process, we located an excellent candidate, Ms. Michelle Grenier. She has worked for several departments, mostly on the South Shore, but has been in business on her own, providing input to various DPWs, et cetera, over the years. We walked through what we do for our I was going to say for a living. What we do for our...
It only feels that way.
what we do for our constituents here in town, and it was clear to us that Michelle is an excellent candidate to provide those services to the citizens of Ayer.
Yeah. Welcome aboard.
Thank you very much. I'm very excited.
Would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself? or-
Yes, I'm a professional wetland scientist. I'm a certified wetland scientist, and I've worked for towns and I've worked for consulting firms throughout my 20-plus years.
Nice.
So, I've have experience with bylaws and the Wetland Protection Act and the Army Corps, and I'm well respected by all the agencies.
Excellent. Sounds like you got some good, nice credentials. Okay. Anybody else like to add anything?
No.
I know that, I believe you're very happy that this, the double duty's over.
You're retired. Come on, embrace it.
So are you.
Semi. I'm sorry, what was your name again?
It's Michelle Grenier.
Grenier?
Yes.
There's a lot of Frenchmen in this area, isn't there? It's like Italians and men.
Yeah.
Sorry. Make a motion to appoint Michelle Grenier, the conservation agent, effective
Today, if you'd like. Tomorrow would be great.
immediately. Is this,
Yes, we actually talked about it.
it's
So-
not an appointment that has to be done in a certain amount of time, right?
No.
It's a hire.
Correct.
Done.
Second with just a discussion, quick question. Same hours as the previous?
No, actually. So, as you may recall, during town meeting, we were successful in our request to increase the budget so that we could attract a viable
Sure.
candidate. And so Michelle will be working 19 hours a week.
Okay,
As
great.
per our agreement has always been with Personnel Board, a non-benefited minus 20 hour per week position.
All right, thank you.
To that end, I think Becky's office hours were on Wednesdays and Fridays, but Michelle's would be Tuesdays and Thursdays,
Okay.
which is actually better because building inspectors in on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Yeah, I agree.
And
Right.
Those sorts of joint
For now.
meetings.
Yeah, that's perfect. All right. See, you're already an asset. We love you already. Okay, motion was made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Welcome aboard.
Welcome.
Just so you know, we're a quirky bunch, but we're fun.
Some of us are.
More quirky than others.
Correct.
Thank you very, very
Thank
much.
you.
for
Nice to
having
see you
us
all.
tonight.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. This is
Yeah, when you're in.
Good luck, Michelle.
Thank you very much. I look forward to working with all of you.
It'd be fun.
Thank you.
I'm just sorry I couldn't bring my dog to witness this moment. She's been coming in with me to the office.
That's quite all right.
I'm sure she's crying at home.
See you, Jeff.
No, you don't.
Thank you.
Okay. Mark.
And then you can read it all as one. You don't have to read this paragraph.
Good evening. I have a number of things on the agenda tonight. The first thing I wanted to update the board on was, as you may recall, a couple of years ago, the town of Groton was looking at sewering the Lost Lake area, and we had entered into a memorandum of understanding that we would receive and treat the sewer. And that was voted down at town meeting, and it has, they've come back with an alternative proposal, which is to just sewer the Four Corners area to allow for additional development there and tie into our sewer on Westford Road. So I invited Bob Rafferty from Environmental Partners, who's the engineer working on the project. I don't think no one came from the town, to just present what the project is and what the process is and what the schedule is, and get some input from the board before we move forward.
Okay, and first, any basic questions to start off? So what we're doing at this point is we're in the preliminary design phases. We're doing some soil borings along the main road, Sandy Pond Road, Westford Road. The connection is intended to be near up Westford Road a little ways to the first connection closest to Groton. The intent is to just sewer the Four Corners area. There's like 5 parcels there. So most of them are undeveloped at this point. But to pick up with gravity sewer from the Groton line all the way to the first connection so people in Ayer can connect to the sewer. Nobody else in Groton will be connecting to the sewer by their interbasin transfer permit that they have. So they're limited. So the design is going to be under full design phase in July, and the intent is to finish up the design in August in time to get an application with the Mass Works Infrastructure Grant Program that the Groton's seeking funds from. And then the intent is, if that goes through, construction next spring.
Yes.
Sorry, Gary, do you have anything? No. Mark, where does it end? I know it gets funky right around Loon Hill. It's just before Crabtree, between Crabtree and New England Way. So basically what happens is Loon Hill pumps through Mulberry, and then it kind of cuts the corner at the bottom of Mulberry and comes out onto Westford Road. So just the side of it.
There's not many. I know there's the farm that has no sewer, and then there's a couple of businesses beyond that.
And I want to say there's about
Shanklins?
4 houses along there.
Oh, yeah, actually, that's right. Those, I'm assuming right across those
And
ranches
then,
there.
I know Rob Rada has expressed interest in connecting the sewer, and some of there's a couple businesses out there.
And how does that work for those residents? I mean, it's regular tie-in fee, or?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
The project's totally funded by the town of Groton.
Yeah. The only thing, is we kicked around some ideas for whether they were going to tie in on Nemco
and then use Crabtree. So we'd have to, if we were gonna do that, I don't know if, are you guys still considering that?
Yeah, until the survey comes in and we can really figure
Sure.
out how to make it work.
And borings and things, so.
Yeah, no, I've
but,
noticed that
But
trucks
then,
have
you know, then we'd have,
borings this week.
you know, we have enough capacity built into the Stony Brook station upgrade, but,
Good.
we just wanted to make sure everything.
Now, would that pick up the supermarket as well? I'm assuming they must have a treatment plant or septic,
Yes,
so that would tie in as well,
yes.
all the existing stuff there.
Right. They're limited right now by the size of that system.
Sure.
They can't develop that one vacant piece of their property.
Okay, great.
I'm just curious what the end result's gonna be, and, you know, I'm curious if Groton's gonna go forward with it, you know. The intent is to, I guess.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with the grant application and how much funds they get and so forth, and then they'll have to decide how to move, or when or if to move forward.
What's the length of that would go into, how far?
Feet-wise, like, about 7,000 total feet.
Wow.
Right. Half and half each town, about.
Wow. Didn't think it'd be that long.
Yeah, it's like a mile from the end of Nemco to the Four Corners.
Yeah, when you're driving out there, it doesn't seem that far
Yeah.
from the town line, but when you think about it, there's a lot of air that's not sewered up in that end. so-
Yeah, and we've heard that
so
from
it's-
residents out there, that
Yeah.
was the biggest, reason for,
Well, I mean, someone like Shanklin, I think, is excited. I think they've wanted to
I agree,
go town so they want to expand.
sure.
And that's an important point too also. This Mass Works infrastructure grant that the town of Groton's going for is about economic development or residential, development. So they're going after that grant, and with two communities involved, if there's any expansion requests that have happened that aren't able to go forward, that would help with the grant application.
Yeah, we actually got that grant once before on Fitchburg Road, but it got, the company that was moving in, they decided not to move in, so it was like 1.4 million, I believe.
And total repave of the road, I mean, is it gonna be torn up pretty well, or is it?
Well,
I
we'll
know
have
it
to
was
see,
repaved a
we'll
couple
have to
years
see
ago.
what the, how the engineering design is, whether it can be put in the shoulder, which I would probably doubt, but there'll be some paving costs involved.
And that'll all be part of the MOU, Memorandum of Understanding and intermunicipal agreement also.
So I would guess the next step would be, after they get a preliminary design with some concepts, we'd present an MOU that the town would sign, and then start working on what the intermunicipal agreement would be, assuming the project moves forward. I think we didn't have an intermunicipal agreement
Correct.
the last time because it didn't pass the funding.
Well, initially it was the whole Lost Lake area, right?
Yeah.
So it was
Yes.
a much larger project with pumping stations and all that good stuff.
That's right.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
So when do you hope to come forward to with the MOU?
This summer would be great,
Okay.
and if we have that MOU before we put the grant application in, would be a big step for us.
Yeah, I think we have a draft from previously, and so we can, oh, you got a
Yeah.
draft right there.
Yeah.
So I can go through that and then discuss any changes, and then we can present that to the board, hopefully give a draft at the July meeting.
Sounds great.
All right,
Thank you.
Thank you, folks.
okay,
Thank you for
thanks.
coming.
Thank you. Thank you.
The next agenda item is, as you may recall, at the, in the fall, I'd gone out for bids for wastewater sledge hauling, and we selected the low bidder, who was Hull Trucking out of Shrewsbury. That's worked out really well. They're very responsive, they're on schedule. We have more options on where we can take the waste, and I don't have all the numbers yet, but it appears that we're saving money doing it that way. We have a lot less liability for the town because we're not hauling our sludge out of town. So it looks like it's been a pretty good contract for the town, so I'm recommending that we sign another one-year agreement with Wall Trucking for the same provisions as was in the original agreement.
Gary?
Mark, so this is 1 year, but there's a provision for 2 one-year extensions?
So the way it was set up was, it would be, the initial contract stated it would go through the end of this fiscal year with 2 one-year extensions. So this is just one year, right.
Make a motion to approve amendment number 1, wastewater sludge disposal agreement for 1 year, July 1st, 2015 to June 30th, 2016, with Town of Ayer and Wall Trucking of Shrewsbury, with signature by the chair.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay,
And there's 2 copies there.
all right.
So the next agenda item is a similar contract extension. We, but this would be, we went out for bids in 2013 for paving. PJ Albert was the low bidder. We've signed one, so we had a 1-year contract. We signed one year extension. This would be the final 1-year extension. So next year, this time, we'd be going out for bids again. But they've done a good job. They've been responsive, and they had some good prices in their bids. So I'm recommending that we award amendment number 2 for a 1-year extension for road paving. One note is, I have this effective as of today because the previous amendment went through May, and we have some paving we need to do in the next 2 weeks to get some state money before the end of this fiscal year. So that would be effective June 16th.
Gary?
Make a motion, amendment number 2, road paving construction agreement between the Town of Ayer and PJ Albert of Fitchburg, 1-year extension, June 16, 2015 through June 30th, 2016.
Second?
Signature by the chair.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, signing.
See if I'm on the next one. Okay. The next agenda item is award of the Stony Brook wastewater pumping station. As you know, we needed additional funding for this project that was approved at the special town meeting last week. Thank you to all the voters for supporting this. This is an important project for the town and the business community in the town. And so we did receive 5 bids. However, one of the bidders was not deemed eligible because he didn't have the proper certification. So we're recommending awarding the bid to Waterline Industries for $616,677. And so I have a notice of award for signature by the chair.
And when would we expect the pump to be?
Well,
repaired?
so the next step is, and this is kind of, this contract execution kind of draws things out. So the next step is, at your next meeting, I would bring the contracts, because they can't get all their contract documents till they get a notice of award. Then they'll get their bonds and their insurance certificates. I'll bring those to the board for the next meeting, and then they would start the process, and it's probably, I would guess, 16 weeks before they actually have the pumps ready to install. So there's some stuff they can do between now and then, but that actually works out well because the groundwater table down there is pretty high, and the drier it is, the better. So we obviously don't want to do this in April. And you're going to get rid of those beavers that are blocking up the water, right, Chris?
I have no problem doing that. Just say the word.
Yes.
I make a motion that the bid for the Stony Brook wastewater pumping station replacement be awarded to Waterline Industries for the sum of $616,677, with signature by the chair. Is that or the board?
Second.
Chair. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Approved. What am I
And-
signing?
The,
Authorized signature, is that me?
yeah, owner,
I'm owner?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Mark, have you had any success going back on that 2007 agreement with?
You know what? I need to call Peter and find out what's going on with that. He was supposed to get back to me and he hasn't. The next item, this kind of came up quickly. Direct Network Services of Littleton is working with Raytheon, who has a contract with Mass DOT. What their contract, Raytheon's contract is to test an open road tolling system for Mass DOT, and they're going to test it over at the Devon's airfield. So they were looking at how do they get internet, high-speed internet over there, and found that our DPW office is the closest Comcast location. So what they would like to do is put a Comcast box and transmitter in our office, and then beam it over to the airfield. And it's a one-year contract because it's a temporary project. They'll pay us. I figured out electricity-wise, they might use about $150 worth of electricity over that period of time. And so I told them we wanted $1,000 a year for the project. I went through the standard lease. Basically what they're doing is they're putting up a small box. It's like they'll have like a cable box, then they have a small transmitter. It'll probably go like in a corner in the office somewhere, and then they'll put a little antenna up on the building. And so it's pretty unobtrusive. I explained to them, I said, you're not going to be able to get in here if no one's here. We keep things locked up.
That's my next question.
And,
Is there another issue? Don't we have something else down there that
With
requires
Mass
access?
Broadband has
Yeah.
access, and there's been some issues with that, and I think we've straightened that out.
Okay.
And I don't know if everyone knows, or if we want everyone to know, we put in cameras down there now, so if someone comes in, like I see, when I was looking at when they had the Devon's fire, I was checking the cameras and I go, who's coming in the middle of the night? And it was the fire truck coming in and filling up for fuel. So it's pretty handy.
Is that guy taking salt?
And I can check right now and see who's out there. So anyway, so they have requested a lease. They sent me a form. I made a few changes to it, and so I'm requesting that the board sign the lease, leasing the wall space in the DPW office and room for an antenna.
I have no problem with it. I don't know if it's at a standard leases, something town council can look at, or.
Yeah.
You want?
I mean, we can okay it, just,
Contingent upon contract.
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, we can do that.
With signature by the board or the chair?
By the landlord or authorized agent. So I would say it would be the board. Yeah.
And it's, can I see it to make?
Sure.
Okay, make a motion,
Yes, go ahead.
make a motion between Town of Ayer and Direct Network Services of Littleton for use of lease of DPW premises for a period of 1 year at a cost of $1,000 payable on July 1st, 2015.
Contingent upon town council review.
Yes, that's it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Sorry, I'm checking off for you.
So I'm signing on the line.
Yeah, I would. Ignore the line that I signed.
this one up.
Tenant authorization, I'm gonna sign it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
you screwed this one up. It's a mess.
Ask me if I could.
Is his name on it? That's all that matters.
Come here, give it back to me, I'll scratch it off.
Settle down.
So the next agenda item, as you probably remember, last fall, we hired our town engineer, Dan Van Schalkwyk, and so we wanted to give the board an update on what he's been doing since he started. And, I'll just say that, I've been really impressed with Dan. Hit the ground running, requires very little oversight and supervision. We sit down, we talk about things, and just goes out and gets it done. So it's been really successful. We've gotten a lot of things taken care of. We've had a lot of new contracts we've had to go out for bid on and things like that, and Dan's really helped with that. So I'm going to let Dan do most of the talking and kind of go through what he's been doing. We kind of broke this down by division, so to speak, just to organize it a little bit better.
Yeah. Thanks, Mark.
Hi, Dad.
How you doing, Chris?
Good.
Board members? Hi. Yeah, so I started just about 7 months ago, November 17th, and I've been working on a variety of different projects. Like Mark talked about, procuring contracts, several of those, proposal reviews, engineering design in all divisions, construction oversight. We've gotten the GIS mapping system moving along quite well now. The database is going on. We have an intern, and I'll get further into that on a slide. Road acceptance, we've started getting into that, and also more reviews for the planning board, Concom, and zoning board.
And it does seem like all of a sudden we've gotten more, and Kylie can probably second this, more submittals in the last couple of months than we've had in the last couple of years. So there's a lot of things happening.
It's probably same number of submittals, you just didn't get
So some of our engineering projects, and this is a really cool project that's going to really be a huge benefit.
Yeah, so we've been building the GIS database, and we've been kind of going at it a few different ways. I've been managing a consultant, Hoyle Tanner, who's been helping us. They got us kind of running. Before I even got here, they had the database up, but it kind of was just empty. They'd started working on the sewer part of the database, the infrastructure, and adding it, but they hadn't really done anything else. So now they've been also working on the stormwater mapping portion, and we've hired an intern who has input the water system mapping into it, but it's kind of roughly in there. We need to quality check it, and we'll also have to go out in the field and do some confirmations. But the GIS database is a huge, it's going to be huge for us, helping us to take care of our assets. And one of the things that I've added is the pavement. I've added the pavement condition index, which the PCI is just a way of measuring, the quality of the roadway, and it's a scale from 0 to 100, and so for example, what I could do with the GIS is I could, set up a range of from 50 to 60, 60 to 70, and highlight all the roads that are in those different ranges, color code them, and I could print out a map. And so that'll help us to know, which roads are in the poorest condition, PCI.
Well, and we can do the same thing. We have a water condition index, water main condition index, and we're working on that with sewer eventually. Sewer's a little harder to do, but we'll be able to say, show us the road that has the worst pavement with the best water and sewer, so we can pave that, because we don't want to pave one that has the worst water and sewer and then have a break. So it's going to be a huge benefit to managing the infrastructure improvement program. One of the other things that Dan didn't mention is we're in the process of scanning all the tie cards, and so when the guys go on the field, instead of having to go to the office, go through their little index cards, go back out, try to figure out what it is, it's going to be right on a map on the system. They'll punch that
And an iPad.
property up, and the picture will come up, and so eventually all of our guys, we got a couple of them here, they'll be out there with their computers instead of having to run around, and then if they see something wrong, they can make a note on there, and we make sure it gets updated.
Yeah.
Technology.
So kind of a little bit coinciding with this is I set up a capital planning cost estimate model to try to help us with our planning to, tackle different assets. And all it is an Excel spreadsheet, and I just filled in a bunch of different data with fixed data points. And all you have to do is enter in a couple cells, like the length of the roadway, the width of the roadway, how many water castings are on the roadway, things like that, and then it'll spit out a cost estimate for everything, for the whole project, or you could break it down by, just the road, how much would it cost to repave the roadway, how much would it cost, to redo the drainage. So we've been using that as a tool to help us with our capital planning. So for the water division, one of the first things I worked on was well rehabilitation at the Spectacle Pond water treatment plant. So occasionally we got to redevelop the wells out there because they get clogged up with sediment, solids, and residues. So I wrote specifications and came up with quotation sheets and followed procurement laws to procure contracts from that, or a contract from that, but I got 3 quotes.
And the low bidder happens to be Dennis Elmar down on Scully Road, so we keep the money in town.
Yeah. What else? Spec Pond, this is ongoing at the treatment plant. We're working on upgrading the chemical feed system and adding a potassium hydroxide system. And that's just for pH adjustment, and it'll help with any corrosion issues we potentially have within the distribution system, which ultimately leads to the wastewater treatment plant and affects our NIPD's permit there because we have limits for copper and things like that. So we're currently adding that. We went through the procurement process to get the equipment and separately an installer. So that's ongoing.
And one thing I'd point out on this is these things are highly regulated by the state, so we had a lot of back and forth with the state because they look at it as, if you're designing a brand new treatment plant, you got to make sure all this is in there, but we're not. So we're trying to squeeze it into an existing system. So there's a lot of things we can't do that we have to talk to the state about and say, well, can we do this? Like, I don't know how much time we spent on figuring out the levels in the overflow or in the backwash tank so that we could send any overflow into the backwash.
Yeah.
So we had to do some control stuff on that. So for the highway.
Yeah, highway, we've kind of just got this rolling, the road acceptance. We're checking into, unaccepted roads in town and what we can do with them. So, what's the existing conditions at the street and how can we, bring it to acceptance, or can we? And this is something we just got going a few weeks ago, meeting with town council, and I've been slowly working on this, and one of the things I've done is updated an inventory database we have, which lists all the roads that are accepted and unaccepted in town, and I've actually brought that into the GIS. It's still a work in progress, but I brought it into the GIS so you could kind of, if you wanted, turn on a layer and see all the accepted roads and all the unaccepted roads, but it's still in development, and we're going to kind of move forward with the road acceptance as well to see what roads we can try to even get on acceptance this year if we can. So Victor Drive culvert, that was replaced this past fall. Yeah, it looks great. Yeah, you should drive by if you haven't. So I did some construction oversight out there, so making sure the contractor was on schedule and making sure he's working within specs and drawings. So also processing submittals and invoices, but they did a pretty good job out there.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone remembers where we've got those concrete retaining walls. Those were all old railroad ties that were all collapsing. It was a big mess.
Right, yeah.
And then the road was collapsing because there was a hole on the pipe, and so it was a pretty big job for not a very big culvert.
Yeah. Solid waste division. So we have landfill monitoring that we're required to do by Mass DEP, and I just did some procurement for that and got some consulting professionals to give us 22 proposals for the project, and we ended up selecting the lowest qualified bidder for that, and that project is fiscal year 2015. We had them on for that, and then options for next year and the year
What is that,
after.
contaminants, just to make sure it's being contained?
Yeah, make
Yeah.
sure that it's not migrating off-site.
Yeah, just monitoring.
And that, we have monitoring wells, actually, I think we have one that we have to replace, don't we?
Yeah, there's one at the municipal.
So there's certain
Up at the
things, they have like a
transfer station.
checklist they go through and kind of make sure everything looks
Not forget,
fine.
they just cap those, right? So what rainwater doesn't
Right.
get in, essentially?
Yeah.
So it's like a big...
Yeah.
And
then-
sometimes they might put some drainage around the outside and things like that, but it is primarily just a cap so that the water doesn't flow through and the contamination leaks out.
Yeah.
Can you put solar on it?
We're talking about that, but I just was reading an article about how solar in Mass has slowed down because they've reached their
Oh, that cap.
their net metering cap, so there's not a lot of incentives. So we have to get the governor to increase the caps, and once that happens, then, but we Robert and Dan and I have an RFP that's pretty close to ready to go once the market turns around.
Is there concern about putting stuff up there that, I mean, obviously, we know stuff's rotting in there, like settling and, you know what I mean, like a fixed structure or something?
For solar panels, it's not usually an issue, and the state has specifically set guidelines for solar panels on landfills so that you don't puncture the cap.
I see.
And how you put that in. So that they realize that that's a really good place because it's a big open area that,
Get them in
Nothing-
Acton, they got them
nothing.
in Lincoln.
Yeah, they have an-
yeah, yeah.
But you couldn't do like a windmill or something just because of the, I would assume, the weight and the...
You'd have
Yeah,
it'd be a lot different. You'd have to put some kind of a foundation in. And, well, wind turbines have a whole big, whether you're on a landfill or not, you've got a foundation about the size of this room, so it doesn't tip over. So it is
Yeah.
pretty complicated.
It's hard for prisons are amazing.
Yeah.
And make you go crazy too, it sounds like. Not exactly.
Next thing is, we're getting this started now, the transfer station, we were looking to do improvements there. So we just had survey done, which we hope to get this week from GPR in town. And we're gonna look at paving the area. If you've been up there, you've noticed that it could use it. And also there's some drainage issues, ponding. So we're gonna do a little bit of regrading, probably add a catch basin or two, look at the drainage, add some, or repave, and then also extend the concrete pad. You can actually see in this picture here, we're gonna extend it in that, the direction where it's heading now, because the operators out there have to maneuver the roll-off containers, and that's why the pavement in the back is kind of getting torn up, because they have to take them off the pad and put them back on when they switch them out. So, it's more procurement for our,
You signed this last meeting or 2 meetings ago?
yeah, this is for the transfer station, recycling and solid waste disposal services. So we sent that out for RFP and got 3 proposals. And Casella, who had been taking care of us before, was the low bidder again, so they're gonna be helping us again.
And this sounds like an easy task, but
Yeah, I didn't-
we didn't find the last one that someone went out for, so we kind of start over.
From scratch,
And
yeah.
then there's also some new regulations and things like that we put in, so you basically put a book together with a lot of details
With
in
other-
it. So it sounds simple, but I used to estimate that just to put a job like this together and out without any detailed engineering was about $3,000 to $5,000 worth of work.
Okay, wastewater. So right now, this is ongoing. We're working on a capital improvement plan, and we're working with a consulting engineer, CDM Smith. And the plan consists of a condition assessment of the treatment plant, process evaluation, a review of the NIPD's permit, and recommendations for improvements. And so I assisted Mark and also Rick Hudson, the wastewater foreman, in developing the scope, coordinating work, and also reviewing the proposals that we received and interviewing the consultants, and also selecting a consultant. So it's going to be a good project, and we're actually, CDM's coming on site on Thursday to do a thorough look over of the plant and with all their different disciplines to get us going really well.
And I don't know whether you, I know Robert sent out an email, we were also successful in getting a grant to, when we set this project up, we wanted to make sure that we collected the data that we could put into an asset management plan, but then this grant program came out, so now we can take that data and really start developing. It was about 30,000, yeah. So it was really good timing for doing this.
So at Stony Brook Pump Station, this is prior to the reconstruction that we're doing out there, but I went out and did some pump tests just to, check what the existing system was doing out there, and I found out that the pumps were operating below maximum efficiency, so somewhere there's a restriction in the system, and we're still investigating that. We think it's probably the force main, which is about 30 years old, which goes up behind Vitasoy and then up onto Westford Road, and connects back into the gravity system. So we're going to do some investigations of the force main and then see what else there could be that could be making our pumps not run at full capacity. For stormwater, we've been working on the MS4, Municipal Separate Storm Sewer System, and we worked with a consultant who helps us do our annual reporting. So I worked with them, reviewed the report that they produced, and added and subtracted anything that was didn't need to be in the report. But also moving forward, I'm going to start taking care of all the stormwater duties. So the NIPD's permitting, and some of the activities we'll be doing, which we're doing now, are GIS mapping and outfall and culvert inspections.
One of the other things that we haven't been doing with stormwater is we have private systems in town that have stormwater management plans, and we haven't been able to keep up with making sure that they're managing their system. So that's something else that we're working on, putting a plan together on how to do that. And that's when we bring our goats in to mow the retention basins.
They work cheap.
And you know what? They don't mind the poison ivy and the pickle bushes.
Up on Jackson Street right now, we're doing some drainage improvements because there was a flooding issue present. One of the basins up there, due to the existing setup, was backing up, and during heavy rains it would start overflowing. So we're trying to alleviate that problem. So I did some calculations and some design improvements to try to relay the pipe so it wasn't backing up into that basin, and we installed a new basin to help with collection in the area. The highway division's doing the installation, and we probably wrap up in another week or two.
Yeah, I think he said he's got about
stretch of pipe
250 feet of pipe left, and then
Yeah.
just cleaning it up. So we're basically replacing the old pipe. While we're up there, we said we might as well put in a whole new system, and we found some interesting things that make no sense to any of us engineers.
Oh, yeah.
Just kind of put it there, see how it goes. Right?
Yeah, well, we need a new pipe here, but we don't know where this one goes, so we'll just plug it up.
Other town departments have been working on site development reviews we mentioned earlier. Been working a lot with Family Dollar to try to help them out there. They've been having a little bit of trouble with their water service tie-in. They're trying to tie into Fitchburg Road now, and we're trying to get that ball quickly rolling so they can get in before MassDOT paves, because they're looking to pave that by the end of this month. And also helping out Shop and Save. They are relocating and installing a new grease trap. So
And what did we just get? We just got the...
gas station, potential gas station down on Littleton Road near Lazy Mary's.
Oh, yeah, across the street, yeah.
Yeah.
And then this was a huge project.
Yeah, this was several weeks of work when I first got here. The Pleasant Street Community Development Block Grant. So I worked with David Mahar on this and did the engineering design for the reconstruction of Pleasant Street. So that included specs for water, sewer drain, and the streetscape, also plans. It's not the entire stretch of the street, it's just a little bit beyond Groton Street where we're going.
Pleasant Street.
Yeah, just about
there,
to there, yeah. And we,
From the end, right?
from Main Street,
yeah.
yep. So we'll find out if that gets approved next month. I'm not sure.
And basically, you have to do, they say 100% design, it's probably more like, I would guess, 80% design that we end up doing, so.
Yeah.
If we get the grant, we'll be
Do a
able
little more,
to wrap it up and get it out pretty quick, but it's a lot of work.
This one's a little interesting, the Mass Energy Insight Database. This is provided to green communities by DOER, and what the green communities use the database to track their energy usage in town. So all the energy bills in town, any energy that gets consumed by the town gets input into this database. Hopefully
Some
all
of it we have to input.
Yeah, well, we have to
Some's automatic and some's not.
Well, yeah, some's automatic, but a decent amount we have to input. And that's, when I first started, I kind of got this back up to speed, added the 2014 data and tracked down missing historical data. And now we're actually using the tool at the Energy Committee meetings to, target high energy consumers and see what we can do about those. So it's a pretty good database. And
Which is, the next agenda item is signing a grant application so that we can start doing some investigations on, or improvements to help do that.
And there's some projects coming up. The list could go on. Do you want?
Yeah.
Read it.
It gets longer every day.
Yeah.
And again, Dan and I work pretty well as a team, so some of these things I take the lead on, and some of them he takes the lead on, and we kind of work together. It was interesting, we got, I see I had the Balch Pond Dam inspections up there. We got a little notice from DCR the other day that said,
The state said.
no, that said, there was the dam was in poor condition. We sent the town something in 2008 that said you have to do this, 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 and this, and you haven't done it. And you have 30 days to do it.
We hear that so much.
So I said, well, so let's see. So it took you 7 years to send us this letter that no one seems to know anything about. So I talked to their lawyer, and she basically said, well, really, all you have to do at this point is do dam inspections. And I said, can I do them because I'm a PE? And she said, yeah, it just has to be stamped by an engineer. So Dan and I are gonna do the dam inspections, and there is question of whether we own it or Mass DOT owns it. And let's hope Mass DOT owns it, because, it's been an ongoing question. We have a letter from Mass DOT that says, no, you guys own it. But then I did what's called we have to do what are called follow-up inspections, and they're pretty easy. They're a 2-page form. You go out and you fill them in. But we have to do every 5 years a phase 1 dam inspection where you hire a dam engineer and they go out and there's certain things they have to do. And then the next step of that is to do a phase 2. So we had a consultant do a phase 1, and then the next year Mass DOT's out doing the phase 2. So I'm thinking, well, Mass DOT's doing a phase 2, they must think that they own it.
So they have no problem paving over it.
Right. Well, and they, in their phase 2 report, said that they're looking at who owns the dam.
They own it.
Sounds like the MBTA, doesn't it? Oh, that's
So-
not ours.
Well, and then one of the other things, and I'll talk to Mass DOT about it, but I also talked to the DCR lawyer about the reason why we have to do this is because it's a high hazard dam. And I said, I don't know how that got classified as a high hazard dam. Well, they basically say if it fails, there's potential for loss of life. And I guess it would wash out the liquor store,
Yeah.
Farnham Road. So anyway, so there's a way, so I'm gonna attempt to get that classification changed. But you can see and we don't even have Dan and I just sat down this week and started going through all the town meeting capital articles and how we're scheduling those and who's doing what. So we've got a lot on our plate.
Speaking of which, I don't see East Main Street.
Well, I'm pretty
Yeah,
much
you're
handling
pretty
East
much
Main Street, and that is ongoing. We've got a report ready to submit to Mass DOT, but we're just waiting for some additional traffic data
MRPC had some issues with their traffic data they did earlier, so they redid it. I don't know if you saw, they had the tubes out a week
Okay.
or so ago.
I saw.
So once we collect that data, then we can submit to the state. And I'm meeting with the state district engineer. I want to say 2 weeks we're meeting. to
Will they
go-
have a shovel in the ground this year?
Well, not for the repaving project,
No,
for the
no,
water
no.
and sewer. Well,
Water
I'm
and
meeting
sewer.
with, right, this is all the rest of the stuff we need for the USDA, and I'm meeting with him Thursday, so hopefully that'll be wrapped
So
up.
there's like,
Yeah.
okay.
So I'm thinking the shovel in the ground for that will be probably September.
Like, people
2015?
Yeah.
People keep asking me.
But the actual road reconstruction project, we got a little ways to go on that, but we have to get the water and sewer done anyway. So. But it's, we got the potential with USDA to get $400,000 grant, so
Yeah.
it's worth waiting a few extra months to do that.
Well, from what I understand, they were trying to put our water and sewer project together with Pepperell's at the
Who?
State House, state reps, to get a more favorable rate, cost.
For this East Main Street,
Yeah,
because this is federal funded.
yeah, no, that's
Oh.
from what I understand. No, the
Yeah.
sewer, water and sewer.
Yeah, no, that's federal funding. The road reconstruction is
Or maybe it
Mass
was the- Maybe it was the
DOT,
road
so that may be,
reconstruction
yeah.
that they were trying to put together with Pepperell and come up with a cheaper, but it didn't work.
Well, we're looking at an option. The engineer who's working with us on it, there's what's called they have a program called the state doesn't have it, that's why they're looking for pilot programs. They have what's called it's like a local roads program or something to that effect. And it basically, they wouldn't treat a project like East Main Street the same as they would with the Zachem Bridge. And that's how it is now. Whether you're doing a big highway or a bridge or a little road in air, you have the same design and approval process, whereas, this is a pretty straightforward project. So we're trying to get the state to do that as a local roads project, and that'll speed everything up and make it a lot more efficient.
Good.
So that's,
You're welcome.
Thanks.
One quick question, see if I may.
Yes.
What about the water and sewer connection to the administrative trailer at the transfer station?
that will be in the project.
Improvement. That's part of those improvements we're doing, yeah.
Thank you.
Did you guys do any more looking into the traffic islands or what we had talked about out here?
That's on the list, is to, we talked about doing a flush island
Yeah.
out here.
Okay.
So we just need to get our, once we get going on FY16 paving projects,
Okay.
get in there.
Cool. Thank you.
We have one last, and this is something Dan's working on.
No, this is just the banner.
This is just a grant,
You're good.
a grant application that needs to get signed by the board. So why don't you just give a little overview of what we're submitting on and
Yeah, so there's a grant out there, Municipal Energy Technical Assistant Grant, that Green Communities and DOER has out. And it's due the 22nd, so I've kind of put it together now, but we need signature by the Chief Executive Officer of the town, which is you guys, or Janice. Yeah. So what we're going to do with it is there's $12,500 worth of money we could get, and we could get technical assistance to help us with energy in town. And what we've decided with the Energy Committee is we want to tackle some of the big energy consumers, which is wastewater, which is probably our number one, mostly because of the wastewater treatment plant, but also the pump stations consume a lot of energy. So we're looking to just use it for the wastewater collection systems, the pump stations, and hire a consultant to go out and take a look and see what we've got and what we could do better, basically, energy-wise. And that's pretty much it. Yeah. So there's this one attachment which we need signed.
So you need signatures by the board.
Yeah. Just, yeah.
Yes.
Make a motion to authorize the DPW to apply for a grant application. Municipal Energy Technical Assistance Grant. Signature by the board.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Dan. Obviously hit the ground running.
You're welcome.
Yeah, no
Thanks.
kidding.
Yeah.
I'm exhausted. Just doing what you did for the last 7 months.
Thanks.
It's funny too, because we have an intern working, he's from Fitchburg State, he's GIS, so he's really
Excuse me, I'll bring it.
grinding through the stuff, so after you've probably been in my office.
Well, that's what
So
I'm
it's
looking
me
for.
and Dan
Why is it on the
and
line?
Robin all sitting in there.
Yeah.
And then, then we
You
get
all did sign the line.
the guys coming in, and so it's kind of a crazy place
So the
these
intern's
days.
done all the work, is what you're saying?
He connects the dots. We put the dots in, he connects them. No, it's really fun having student interns, because they have a lot of energy, a lot of new ideas, and so he's been able to grunt through a lot of stuff that we wouldn't get to, or we'd hire a consultant to do, or something.
That's great that you can do that.
Yeah. And then he also clued me in on that they do class projects for free.
Oh, nice.
So,
Yeah, we like that, free.
so I gotta talk to his professor about seeing if we can come up with some more stuff for them to do.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, thanks.
Thank
All right, thanks,
you.
Dan.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mark.
Nice report.
Mark, that was it, right? Yeah. All right, thank you.
Good. All right. So, Parks Commission. Come on down.
Did we get rid of the fire station yet?
Not in our lifetime.
I haven't got my plans yet.
That and the train station's gonna happen the same day.
Good, how you doing?
Hey, guys.
All right, hello. Good.
So welcome. We don't always have you guys visit us, so it's kind of nice.
Yeah, we should make it once a year at least, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. What can we do for you?
Can I just, I asked Robert to ask these guys, because I know they have a lot going on, and we had discussed some things during capital, and I guess the board wants to know how we can work with you guys, or help, or do whatever you guys need us to do in order to help achieve your goals, and immediate goals and long-term goals, I guess.
Okay, well, if I can. One of the things that we ran into when we presented our ideas for storage needs, and just to be sure that everyone understands, our storage needs became immediate when we lost the firehouse, the old firehouse. That's where our main storage building was. So once we lost that, we had an issue with storage, and we knew that was coming. So when we went to capital planning with different ideas and thoughts for developing a storage garage, we talked to Mr. Wetzel about possibly piggybacking on some of his things that he wanted to do for storage for DPW as well. And when we went to the capital planning, it was a very positive reception. It was great. Everyone had, nothing but, positive thoughts about trying to do something for storage. But then there was so many different ideas bantered about everywhere between, well, what can we just put up a steel building and have some stuff, to, well, maybe we can build a recreation center and have a part of that. And with all that cacophony of ideas kind of bouncing around, nothing ever came of it. So that's where we kind of got our tires spinning on that one. So ideally, we'd like to just go back to what our grassroots was and our needs for right now is, which is a storage facility, a 3-bay storage facility, ideally with an office as part of it, where we could have an office at Peroni Park to manage the properties that we oversee from that location. So that would be the ideal thing. And again, we've talked to Mark about that. I was going to ask Mark to jump in with us at some point with different ideas that we had to go with that.
And there's plans, Robert, already? Gabe has something he was saying?
Yeah, through the chair to the board, and I think Jeff, you may be aware of it, it was some time ago that the building commissioner, Mr. Valenti, had been asked to sketch, if you will, a conceptual idea of a an overall recreation facility to be located at Peroni Park, and Gabe just provided, we have those, the big plan in the office that incorporated storage, it looked like it had storage office as well as
Not the type of storage we're looking for.
Okay.
It had no vehicular storage bays at all. It had storage closets.
Right. Okay, okay. And just lastly, from my perspective, having been at Capitol, I know that there was discussion from a lot of members on the Capitol Planning Committee, including Selectman Hillman, about the concept of, in addition to the vehicular storage, if you will, the storage facility and the office component, even a larger concept of like a recreational facility, for lack of a better word.
Right.
Has the commission given any further thought to that, or
Yes.
through the chair?
Sure, yes, and it's kind of our consensus that it's two separate things, right? We would love to have a recreational facility down there, indoor recreation, basketball, I don't know, just a place for activities after school and everything. We'd love to have that. It could be at Peroni, it could be anywhere in town, really, that we could run. But what we really need is a storage facility. We've got to put all of our supplies, our materials, our equipment for the different sports. We put our ice rink in there. We've got the dump truck, the tractors, and that's something we absolutely need. It's a necessity. Because right now we don't have something like that. So our trucks are sitting outside in the elements, rotting for better. We've got a soccer trailer that's not airtight or moisture tight, so a lot of the equipment for those sports ages really poorly, so this is something that, since we've lost the ability to use the old fire station, we've just been kind of making do for the last year and a half, or a year ago, I guess, when we pulled it all out. So as far as a recreational facility, yes, we'd love to have that, but it doesn't have to be piggybacked with this. This is a need. The recreational facility is something that is more I'd like to have, I suppose.
So, it sounds to me like that you're kind of getting to the point where it's an emergency. So you need to my recommendation would be to focus on that, get that done, keeping an eye on the future recreational needs and whatnot like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
It sounds like you guys keep everybody else out, you can focus and get her done, you know?
If I may.
Yes.
The other thing about the recreation facility, the biggest stumbling block that came about when it was conceptually put together, I think in 1998, was the location. The original idea for the location is where the outdoor basketball courts are at Peroni Park, and then it was discovered that's within a 100-year floodplain. And that curtailed most of the headwind to try to get that done. Until there's a better place to put that, and there really isn't an ideal location in Peroni Park that isn't within a floodplain, that's what's really holding back any momentum for getting a recreational center together. So that would be the first and foremost, would be to find a location for something like that. We thought we had something going with the school, but that was just prior to regionalization. It was that conceptual drawing. The footprint would fit exactly next to the old gym, so it was perfect. But then once regionalization happened, that all fell apart.
And that would be a great location at the schools.
Right.
Because kids let out of school and they can go right to programs that we could run for them.
Right.
I'm not sure if the town still owns that or if it's the school department. I'm not sure how even that will work at this point with regionalization, but
Right.
They lease it for $1.
Yeah.
from the town.
Yeah, I mean, that's something that certainly could be looked into. I'd never even heard that idea, but it makes sense.
Yeah.
So, just to
Yes.
go on, so the Capital Committee, obviously, and these guys know, we kind of threw a lot at them that day, and I apologize.
Yeah,
We
no,
apologize.
that's
Was,
great. It's all positive.
I mean,
Yeah,
there was talk about expanding the Parks Department to do more around town, mowing, maintenance. Jeff had even mentioned to me, maybe they take care of the Christmas lights, stuff like that, bigger, obviously you need more manpower. But just in general, to get a 5-year capital plan for them, because we have a beautiful, beautiful park down there that I think these guys have done a fantastic job, but I mean, we're getting to the point where, they need some things.
What's it, equipment storage for the most part, and office?
Vehicular storage is the biggest concern, but then equipment storage as well.
Right.
There's both. And our current facility we have as a maintenance building is jam-packed with most of our tools and tractors and mowers and things like that. So if we were able to move those out, then that building could be used for the equipment for sports programs.
Yes.
Right.
And that building needs some,
It does. We're having roof work done on it this
okay.
this summer. In fact, we're purchasing the materials this week for that.
Great.
Yeah, I mean, if I may, it's the support we got at that meeting is fantastic, and we definitely appreciate it. And Selectman Hillman, thank you for sending this invitation to us tonight, because this is the type of support we need. Where our budget's not really big. It's small. We try to do the best we can with that, and I think we really do. We're cost conscious, and I know we don't always put forth the capital plan, and that's part of our fiscal responsibility. And we could, I suppose, ask for more, but I don't know that we necessarily need to. So we try to live within our budget and try to live within our means, and our staff does a great job of doing that. So any support that we get from this board, obviously, and the finance committee and the capital planning committee, everybody, it's more than welcome and appreciated.
Well, the good news is it sounds like you guys have kept within your budget and everything like that, but you need to obviously get some more stuff done.
Right.
So, I think the only thing I can say, sitting from this angle, is get it, bring it,
Sure.
and it'll all fall in place, because we do support this. We know that you guys do need the storage unit and whatnot. So let's get that part done, and then we can work on the other stuff. And I think the town will be very supportive too.
Yeah.
So,
Thank you.
Excellent.
Sure. Okay.
Mary, over there waving over there.
Well, I am, and I've known Jeff for a long time and everything, and I've supported him, but it's like pulling teeth to get a capital plan. I say, we need a 5-year plan. Oh, we don't need anything this year. No, it's a 5-year plan. For years, they took pieces of, excuse my language, pieces of crap equipment that the DPW was getting rid of, and they put it together, and that's what they used for trucks until we finally bought the truck that Jeffrey has now.
So they know how to reuse. They're innovative.
That's
They recycle. They're mission oriented. And they don't have their hand out a lot.
MacGyver's our hero.
With all due respect, Madam Chair, it's time that they recognize the fact that they are a very good department in this town. We need vision for going forward. I think everybody would help them. We have a very fine town engineer here now that should be able to help us with looking at, that was 1998 where somebody said that's 100
We gotta
years.
stop going back to the.
And I've been trying to get
There's
on
something about
there.
a year with an
I
8
agree.
in it, so.
Huh?
And there's something about years with 8s in it
Well,
around
I
here.
mean, it's
you know?
time to go forward and
Yeah.
look to see what we can put down there. Am I right, Chris?
Well, I was going to add to that. I agree with you on the 5-year plan, but I also want to say, as someone who runs a small business that works 1 million hours a day like Jeff does, I'm down there on weekends, and
Oh,
it's
I
not
know
a
he's
time.
always there.
So it's hard to balance what needs to get done as essentially, a one-man staff with some, part-time help.
We want to help them.
And that's exactly why they're here now. So I don't want to make it sound like we're throwing shots here at all, because I understand. I mean, Jeff does a ton, and we want to help. So yeah, a capital plan would be great, but I think right now the storage,
The immediate needs.
the storage. So I guess what can we do to
Well,
make that happen
I
sooner
think
than later?
one thing is that the gentleman, you need to, I would expect to get the firm plan and go forward to capital planning, finance committee, us. You have our support. We just need to see something. And I think that if we can actually move this forward a little bit, then exciting things are going to happen.
I'm sorry, one more thing I forgot to mention. So, and another thing to look at, Littleton used CPC funds for their park. You know, that
Yeah.
new structure across from the old library, the basketball courts and the park and the structure.
Which aren't one of you a part of one of the members of CPC?
Yeah, so that was-
Oh, no.
But that was,
We have
Somebody
representatives.
sits on it.
Okay, you're
Yeah.
a representative, so yeah, so that definitely is another avenue.
that's an avenue we
Yeah.
could,
Well,
I
It
think
all
that
depends.
falls,
There's some rules in that.
yeah, no, I understand.
No, it's just an
Just,
avenue.
you know, you mentioned trying to keep the ball moving, and I have a proposal, not that, as you saw, we have plenty to do, but when Jeff and I first started talking about this, and I went out to the site with Jeff, and we kind of laid out where things would fit and how we would do it, and I gave him some cost information. And my concept of it was that we would design his building the same time we were designing the water department garage, because they're very similar structures. So we could do stuff at the same time and actually come up with two designs, and it may even be cost effective to bid two jobs at the same time. So what I would propose is, and we don't need any money for us to do the engineering, but Dan and I will engineer the structure we were talking about, which is I think it was a 3-bay garage with an office and meeting room, as while we're doing the water department garage, which is funded. And then when we get to that point where we're ready to go to bid, we'll at least be to that point where we know what it's going to cost and how we can keep this thing moving.
So how long do you think that that would take?
I don't want to say
What's your ETA, Mark?
Because Dan and I are just sitting down and doing a schedule for all these projects, and so.
Put an
I
asterisk
haven't
next
even
to
put
this
that.
one. Yeah.
But like I said, if we're doing them simultaneously, it can go pretty efficient, because a lot of the things we have to do during the design are meeting with, we're basically looking at pre-engineered metal buildings, and there's a whole bunch of different vendors out there, but we need to meet with them and go over foundation designs and specifications, so we can do two at the same time and be a lot more efficient.
Okay, so we got 2 sitting over there, we got the 3 in front here, so you 5 guys.
we're going to form a club.
You're gonna form a club.
we're gonna build a clubhouse.
And you're gonna make it so, right? Okay, so we should obviously be starting to hear trickles of information coming forward, so that the next time we discuss this, there'll be a plan and everybody's gonna be all excited and there'll be balloons flowing and we're gonna get this done, right? Because everybody's excited and they're gonna, that's it, it's gonna happen. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Whoever.
I interrupted a lot, sorry. Keep in mind, too, the Parks Department is kind of like the post office. They kind of fund their own, no, I'll get Gary going on this. I mean this in a positive way. They fund their own operation, essentially. The backstops that go up, that's not money, that's sponsorships from the signs that people put up or pay for and stuff like that. So a lot of the stuff that happens down there is just revenue they generate.
Right,
Have a
but
tremendous amount of
we need to
support.
get.
They do, yeah,
The
and-
plan needs to get
I agree.
built.
Mhm.
And that's what needs to be focused on so that we can keep moving to the next steps.
We have a number of things, a number of objectives on the town's comprehensive plan, the open space and recreation plan. So there are some things that, you know, we're trying to do. One of our big goals that we're really starting to break ground on is a perimeter path around Peroni, right? Perimeter walking path. But a lot of the stuff is, like you said, it's grassroots. We raise money, we get volunteers, and that's just the way we've always run our department.
CPC, something like that?
Well, we
Yeah.
There was a big thing with Newton, and that got settled, because you couldn't improve a park that was already there with CPC money. If the park was established with CPC money, then you could. But there was a number of projects that we put sprinklers in.
Right.
And that happened before this whole law changed.
And that was CPC?
Yes.
Oh.
So, but I think they went back, now I've been off of CPC for a while, so I think they went back and did some changing of the rules. I haven't read it for a while, but it may be so that you could use.
Well, Littleton established that. I don't know what was there before, how they did that previously.
For an existing, the thing with maintenance, it's very wordy on the way it's used, and that's what Newton went by.
Yeah, and then you get into what we have down the lake now too, if you start, because now you can't
Well,
spend
in
the
the lake,
parking
we
because we use grant money.
CPC
Yeah.
money for that,
Sure.
the beach. But You know, you guys got a lot of support in town, I think. Go with it.
Yeah, and a 5-year plan would really, really be
Yeah,
nice.
so essentially, that's why, I mean, I tell them all the time, I talk to these guys, I see them down the field, but I just wanted to get them here because I think the consensus is from everybody I talk to.
Yeah.
What can we do to help you guys out, so hopefully we can.
We'd like to reciprocate. What can we do? What expanded services can we offer? You know, because we're ready to mobilize with that too, so.
Yeah, and that was
we
a,
needed some direction there.
Jimmy Pinard threw that out there at the Capitol, and it was actually a really good idea about, you know, I mean, I know these guys kind of caught him off guard, kind of caught me off guard, but about expanding and almost, you know, having a bigger department. So the Parks Department mows the town hall and the library, and, you know, takes care of various properties around town. Obviously not Jeff solo, but as a staff year round.
Yeah.
So it's something we should look into.
All right, so let's get your storage needs taken care of. Mark, Astor,
If the fire station isn't sold, why can't we use it?
they're still using part of it.
We were told to get out.
Yeah, no, I understand that, but I mean, they're dragging their feet and it's empty. If it's a matter of just putting some stuff in there to keep it out of the weather, is there any reason we can't?
Because we don't
don't own it.
technically own it any longer.
Has the money changed hands, or I
The
mean?
first deposit has.
Oh,
Yeah,
damn.
No.
yeah, I know.
Okay, so Mark's gonna put an asterisk next to this. You guys gonna come up with a 5-year plan? We'd be happy even with the 2-year, but we prefer the 5-year.
No, we want 5 years.
You know,
Is there
I
any-
know, but they're busy,
2 years.
so.
Temporary
and,
storage trailers, anything?
We're here for you.
We had an offer from one of our residents to look into getting that for us, and hopefully that will come through, and that would be very beneficial if we can get that.
I mean, and that's something we could authorize, right? I mean, even a rental, I mean, that's not a capital expenditure, but
We've got to
something.
figure out what, you know, the size and what they need.
No, I
and
understand, but I mean,
everything like
that would be
first.
up to them, but I mean, it's,
Devon's, Mass Development's anything excess of.
they have been, since Thatcher's got up there, they have been more willing to work with us, so maybe it's worth.
A barrack that could be taken apart or something. Metal.
Or even just some storage area.
No, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't mind, if we can certainly inquire, if that helps. You know, I mean, it's right down the road. I mean, they have been
Information's
very
always good.
open with us lately,
Yeah.
so why not ask, right?
Information's always good.
All right. Good idea.
Gentlemen, don't be afraid to come forward. See us again.
Sure.
Don't, you have a standing invite.
Thank you very
Okay.
much.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
We'll
All right, guys.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good to see you. Oh, no.
All right.
What do I have to read here?
Robert.
Madam Chair, through you to members of the board, just very briefly under the administrative update. It's always a very busy and vibrant time here in the town of Ayer. As mentioned by the DPW earlier, we met with town council and are in the process of putting together a comprehensive plan/strategy to address the unaccepted streets issue in the town. We'll be bringing that before the board, and a component of that will also, where applicable, at the October 26th fall town meeting, where there are some that require town meeting approval. Our goal is to have articles before you applicable to that. So that project is underway, and again, a big thanks to Dan for his help on that. Also, as mentioned, we're finishing up through the Energy Committee RFP for a solar field development in the town, and we'll get that before the board shortly once we complete that. On June 11th, the OPEB Trust in Boston on June 11th voted unanimously to accept the town's OPEB funds. So the treasurer will be transmitting those funds to Boston, to the SRBT. The trust fund board did meet, had one meeting. Ms. Knox is in the process. I've sent her the information to set up a web page that will have all of the documents on the town website pertaining to this group. And the trust board agreed we would meet quarterly and/or as needed, and the web page will be the repository for the statements and so forth. So that process is now formalized and underway. As Mark had mentioned, not just with DPW, but townwide, we're in the process of scheduling / the implementation of all of the articles passed at town meeting, the various projects, so that there's a schedule and a plan addressing those. Of course, it's the year-end close on the budget as the fiscal year is ending, and we've also been working on the audit and final points on that, so that will be coming before the board shortly. Preliminary work is still underway in launching the Comprehensive Plan Committee, and we'll have an update on that at the July meeting. And we are moving forward as well with the townwide wellness plan and putting together a townwide training program. So again, a lot of post-town meeting, pre-FY16 budget work is underway. With that, the next item I have is a reserve fund transfer request for town council legal service requests in the amount of $16,420. The estimated town council bill for May, which we haven't received yet, will be $8,000. We still have the June bill that we'll receive that will include some reimbursements from Mass Development for costs associated with the super town meeting. But Ms. Cabri and I are confident that the $16,420 is sufficient to close out the town council account for FY15. It's important to note, if you look at the trend, the good news is that since January, starting this year, the average town council bill has come down to about $7,500 as opposed to the average of about $13,000 prior to that. That, I think, is a testament to this board in concluding a lot of the legal matters before it. I think is a testament to this board, the conclusion of both the police and dispatcher contract without using town council at all for the first time on a contract round. So there is a silver lining.
Not on this board,
And if you
probably.
look at the 10-year trend of town, and I can provide this, you will see there's still a decrease. But, so respectfully, I'm looking for your consideration and approval for an RFT in the amount of $16,420. And then I'll take it to the Finance Committee next week.
Right. I make a motion to make a reserve fund transfer to account 01151, town council fees for the amount of $16,420.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion approved.
The next item is as a culmination of the June 2nd and of the May 19th and the June 2nd BOS meetings, the goals and objectives for the 2015-2016, so the year ahead for both the Board of Selectmen and the Town Administrator was sent to the board. And from my perspective, Madam Chair, as far as the goals for myself for the year ahead, I believe are attainable and in the best interest of the town and the board. And then I also itemized based on the discussion of the board on May 19th and June 2nd, sort of the goals of the Board of Selectmen. And as we all know, the goals of the board are the goals of the town administrator, are the goals of the departments and the employees, and vice versa. So there's obviously, in the end, we're trying to divvy up the goals, if you will, but in the end, it's all for the best of the town. And I think this is a realistic plan, proposal for annual goals.
Looks good. Looks like everything we had discussed. And of course, if we need to, add to it.
There'll be
Let's
10,000 things that we don't even foresee that'll
Right,
end
the
up on
unexpected
there.
always
But
comes.
it's nice to have,
Yeah.
at least some
Excuse me.
benchmarks here, so I think it looks great. Do you need a vote? Or just, we're nodding our head going, yay?
That's what that's what I intend
Yeah,
to
ultimately.
work
Okay.
with.
Yeah.
And we all know things change and come up, so.
Okay.
The next item is, if you will, part 2 from the June 2nd meeting of board and committee appointments. And as mentioned at the last meeting, at the conclusion of the board's appointments tonight, Ms. Antonellis and I, working with Ms. Knox, we've discussed after tonight really sort of taking a new approach to sort of promoting the vacancies and so forth, and try to give it a new spin and some new outreach, because I'll just take this as an opportunity for just a quick plug to the public, Madam Chair, that there are plenty of opportunities for residents to get involved across the board. So with that, you have in your packet the appointments for tonight, the one-year appointments and the three-year appointments. And if there isn't objection, respectfully, I would recommend that one of the three-year appointments to the ZBA be taken separately, as I indicated in my memo. And that would be of Mr. John Ellis to the ZBA.
He's my brother-in-law. In talking to,
Thank you, because I didn't read the memo.
well, I didn't know if you knew that, so, and I'm saying it, so, in talking to Robert, we couldn't find that there was an actual conflict, but I don't want any perceived
No, I did the same with my
conflict,
cousin, I
so-
agree. Yeah, no,
So I'm
it's
on
the right
that
way.
one.
It's the correct way,
Yes.
even though there isn't, but.
Is that the
Exactly.
reason to take it separate?
Yeah,
Well, I
we have
believe
to, I
that the
mean,
chair wanted to recuse herself on the
Yeah.
vote
So,
of
I
that.
don't, I mean, it doesn't meet the legal definition of
It
a
doesn't.
conflict,
no.
but there's always somebody who's going to have,
He knows some people.
Brother-in-law?
Yes.
It does.
okay, well, he said.
Yeah,
he
yeah,
did.
Gary, you've been through it, actually,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
does.
so, but anyways, I was out of it.
I'm in it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But it's not a financial, right? It doesn't have to be a financial.
No, you're right.
You know what, though, I mean, I recuse
your
myself from my
appearances.
second cousin. We know how some people operate in this town who are watching right now, so,
yeah,
why don't we just, I think
Yeah.
Janice is doing the right thing and just
so,
separate it and,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay, whatever. I'm fine with it.
oh, I'm sorry.
I'd like to make a motion to approve one-year appointments to expire June 30th, 2016 for Memorial Garden Committee, Jim Fay, Mike D'Attillion, Chuck McKinney, Bob Eldridge, and Janice Lewis.
Janet, not Janet.
Yeah, Janet Lewis, my dentures stuck. And Pauline Yamo for MJTC representative.
Seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, the one-year appointments have been approved.
Yeah.
Yes.
Make a motion for 3-year term appointments to end June 30th, 2018. Jessica Gino, Conservation. Takashi Dada, Conservation. Robert Hammond, Register of Voters. Ron DiFilippo, CBA. Jeremy Callahan as a ZBA alternate. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And John Kilcommons as Capital Planning Committee. Glad to see John's still participating.
We're holding on as long as we can. Second.
Okay. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
I'd like to
Yes.
make a motion to approve for 3-year appointment expiring June 30th, 2018. John Ellis to ZBA.
Second. You gotta call it.
Oh. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Move on.
Okay. All right.
That
My mind is in another world.
Madam
all right.
Chair, and members of the
Neil.
board, thank you. That,
Ms. Dentures.
no, I'm sorry. Lastly, number 5, as amended by the board under my report, we received a communication today from the Empire City Chinese Restaurant on West Main Street.
I missed that, too.
That the ownership is relinquishing their all-alcohol license back to the town. So, Madam Chair, through you, respectfully,
weird.
procedurally, would request that the Board of Selectmen take a vote
Oh, it's just not meant to do anything.
relinquish the...
To accept the
To accept,
The-
thank you.
accept the
To accept the
relinquishing-
relinquishing of the Empire City all-alcohol license, and then we'll notify the ABC.
And Madam Chair, if I talked with the town accountant today, because we prorate licenses, So if you apply for a liquor license in October, we only charge you for
The
a month.
first, yeah.
So in reverse of that, we'll prorate what they're not using, give them July through December back as a refund, since they've turned in their license, if that's,
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Is it Empire City?
yeah, it's Ho Hing doing business as Empire City.
Oh, Hing doing business as Empire
Yeah.
City. I feel like Johnny Carson. Karnak. Ho Hing as,
I think Gary said some cognac before the meeting.
Make a motion to accept a relinquishment of the liquor license of Ho Ming doing business as Empire City in Ayer with a prorated amount to be returned to Empire City.
Very good. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The license is now back to us.
And Madam Chair, through you to the board, thank you. That concludes my report.
Very good, that was actually very good. Good, good. All right, Chris.
So you want me to just, the treasurer's not here, so should I just be reading these? Is that what you
Oh,
want?
she's gonna go after? Because
Yeah, she's last.
All right.
It's new business, selectmen's questions. You're
Gotcha.
next.
you're
So you
on
want me to-
holiday leave.
Move to, and then we'll go through one at a time? I just found out about this on the way.
What are you
Yeah.
talking about?
Are we talking about?
No, we're talking about, we're on.
Oh,
new
I don't have an
business,
agenda in front of me,
Selectmen's
sorry.
question.
I'm.
You're next.
Oh, yeah. See, Carly stole my agenda.
Sorry.
Oh, holiday lights. So I just basically wanted to start getting the thing rolling again, because 4th of July is coming up.
What?
The holiday lights,
Well,
and what we're gonna
Which
do.
holiday?
well,
Christmas.
Okay.
so we formed the committee a couple of months ago, but you need members to be on the committee.
Be
So-
helpful, yes.
Yes,
Yes.
and we discussed this like a month ago.
Yeah.
So,
It's-
has anyone came forward? Has it been advertised? Does anyone know that we created a committee to do holiday lighting out the Rotary, Main Street?
Like the point Chris
You know,
We have,
I think I already
Madam Chair,
was,
when
yeah.
when the board created the committee, we did do some limited advertising. Of course, we'll do more full press on that. It's been out there, and I think tonight's too, just brief discussion, we need folks to volunteer.
Yeah, the reason I brought it up was we don't meet again until after the 4th, so I figured
Right, yeah.
Carly and I were discussing that after the 4th, and once that dust settles there, we should,
Yep.
because
Nope.
there's been
Yeah.
people that have mentioned it, so I
Yeah.
think,
Yeah, so I think, I know the 4th isn't quite here yet, but it's never too early to begin. A, what is the plan? B, how we're gonna fund it, and C, implement it.
Mhm.
So,
So, July 14th, you might have something for us?
yeah.
yeah.
Yep, yep, yes. We're gonna do our best to get some folks that are interested and then have some preliminary. Are you gonna play a role in it, Selectman Thielman?
No. Yes, I'm on the committee. So right now it's me.
Did we throw any money at it? No?
No, because
No.
we formed a committee and that was it. Chris is the only one that he's.
So it could
only
end
had a
up, it
meeting
could
with
end up
himself.
like past years.
He's only
With
having a
staff
meeting with
support.
himself.
Yeah.
No, you're the staff support.
Miss Antonellis and I, with staff support to it, and we'll get some other folks.
Robert, I think you and I have discussed will possibly for fall town meeting, once we get the committee formed, see what we want to do. That way we kind of know when we go out to bid, like companies,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then maybe
Yeah.
address it at fall town meeting, because we don't really know the scope of it yet, because we never got any interest. So now we're
Right.
gonna try to ramp it up after July 4th.
All right,
Yeah.
okay.
Works for me. And then Mass Development obviously has offered their assistance as well too, so maybe
Yeah,
we
the
can.
bucket truck and
Yeah.
all of that, they have.
Okay.
All right.
Did I have anything else on there? It was a while ago.
No, that
No,
was
that's
it.
good. All right,
No.
good.
You're-
That's it, huh?
Yeah, we're keeping them short and sweet.
I promise I keep mentioning this until we get some kind of resolution. Mass General Law, Chapter 32B, Section 9A and a half. The treasurer has yet to send out any bills to any other municipalities, nor have we have any idea how much is we owe to any municipalities. this continues to be an issue as far as I'm concerned, is being fiscally irresponsible. And I would hope that we have some kind of resolution to this issue that's been going on for 2.5, 3 years, 4 years, and, to almost get threatened to be sued by another municipality over this issue for short money is ridiculous.
They were nice about it, but they did threaten to sue us.
Yes.
And
Well,
rightfully so.
They were doing
Their job.
Yeah, as, different than what we're doing. But hopefully things will change, and I've been saying that for a while, but I personally, I don't see it changing, but
Have we
I'm
looked-
hopeful.
The Department of Revenue, have we done any tire kicking there on what we can do? Besides changing this position to appointed
Madam Chair.
in the spring?
Through you to the board, I have made it clear at the last department head meeting, and at her request, Ms. Gittner came to see me on Friday regarding this matter. And I explained to her in both instances very clearly, because she and I have disagreed on this for 3 years, that I said the expectation of the town as set by the Board of Selectmen, regardless of elected or appointed or what have you, is that they want full compliance with 32B 9A.5. It's state law.
State law, yes, I want to reiterate that this is a state of Massachusetts
Right.
law.
And I told her that
Whether you like it or
that the
not.
Board of Selectmen stated at their June 2nd meeting that until there's demonstration of full compliance from her, that this would be appearing on every public meeting, because the board feels that they also the public needs to know this, but the board also to protect the town, that there's basically the one individual who statutorily is responsible for this,
And
refuses.
who took an oath to
Right.
obey the laws of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts.
So I had
Good article for the paper, Pierre.
I had suggested that if things have been done or haven't been done, because it's unclear, that it would behoove the individual to communicate to this board informally on this. But to Selectman Luca's point, that nothing has been done. And to Selectman Hillman's point, the challenge is, as the town administrator, the statute is very clear that it is the town treasurer. And this is a unique thing in the sense that an individual has chosen, because they don't agree with the law, to at least come into compliance with it. It respectfully would be inappropriate for me to file a inquiry with the Department of Revenue. Something of that level would rest with this board.
I defer to the chair on that, but I have no problem, in my opinion.
Don't mean either.
All right, I think it's time we take an official vote as to what we're going to do, because as been pointed out over and over and over again, this is a Commonwealth of Massachusetts law. It is a law that has to be followed, but is not being followed due to personal disagreement, not to doing with anything that has ever been brought forward on numerous meetings indicating as to legitimate reasons as to not following, but it all has to do with just personal reasons.
We're not understanding.
I'm all for Robert looking into what kind of formal complaint we can file with the Department of Revenue or the State Treasurer's Office concerning this issue as far as being fiscally irresponsible and putting the town in danger.
And the key is putting the town in danger, because ultimately if we get sued, it's not the treasurer, it's the town.
Right.
And then the board is held responsible, even though we try to do our job, and then the people who are elected just say, well, sorry.
So I'd like to make a motion that Robert further pursue to town council what our next step could be with the Department of Revenue or the State Treasurer's Office concerning this issue.
Second, with discussion, and to pursue that if there is.
I'd say bring it back to us next meeting.
On the 7th, okay. Okay, I'm fine with that. So, Robbie, you'll have an answer for us, and hopefully.
Wait a minute.
I'm sorry.
Aye.
You made the motion,
Oh,
you seconded.
I was trying
Do you
to- I was
think
trying
if
to-
I could,
No, I could, yeah.
right, you got to discuss, okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Robert?
So, Madam Chair, if I may, just a point
Deep breath.
just a point of clarification. The motion is to authorize the town administrator to inquire through town council with the DOR and state treasurer's office regarding this matter and to advise back on July 14th.
Correct.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
The
Eric.
other, last thing I had was just an update, J-Boss, we're gonna have a meeting the 25th. It's just, it's time to change a chairman, it rotates, Shirley is the next in line. You saw my email I sent out. And there'll probably be in a couple other agenda items, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be in Harvard. And that's it, we'll probably discuss what went on at town meeting and the votes and what the next step may be. You know, number 4 got turned down in Harvard. There was a proposal for a large pharmaceutical company to go in that area, from what I understand. But it may come back in another area too. But stay tuned, I'll fill you in the next meeting on what's going on. It'll probably be not much going on for the summer, so we'll probably reorganize and then have something to fall.
And, I'm sorry.
No, and I just had one other thing I just thought of while you were mentioning MBTA. Where does that sit?
Just a quick update, and Carly may know more than me because I've been so busy at work. I sent an email to Mr. Boyle last week. I think I copied you guys on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I forwarded it to you guys as well.
Yeah, I think so.
Where do we, about the, where they stood with Mr. Pastor, Mr. Berry. He stated that they had a favorable response and that they were hoping to have an answer or some type of discussions last week. Everything's
Favorable response from Mr.
Pastor.
But was waiting to see what Mr. Barry was going to say.
And they were hoping to discuss with us last week. So,
Yeah.
do you want to follow up again?
Follow up tomorrow.
You could follow up.
Absolutely.
Because that's
Be
something
nice
you
to
just...
see this in our lifetime.
Well, that and the fire station. And just one more thing, Janice, just real quick. Gary brought up last week about the Shirley Selectmen asking for an amendment to the regionalization
Right,
agreement.
I remember us
And
briefly
Gary
talking about
was
that prior
was
to
very
that.
good about treading water, you know, going lightly, but everything was 100% true. They did, was filed by Representative Benson, which is their right, but I just want to point out that they copied every other region in the state, except there.
Who they're
which-
regionalized with.
Who they're regionalized with. It was brought forward by a selectman's husband, which in my thinks they tried to skirt the issue, but then of course it was sent out by the town administrator of Shirley to these other towns. So I don't like practices like that. I think it's a dirty pool, and you put that in the paper. I don't.
But I also saw that it looked like whatever they had on their warrant for their little super town meeting didn't exactly go the way they thought they were going to go, because it sounds like the town, was it that one? Was it truly that the town residents are not too happy with some of the business things that have been going on, and so they thought they had the feel, and now there are times that they didn't, so...
I
wonder if even the residents know that they...
Well, I guess I'm insulted, and I'm glad Gary brought it up, because then I heard about it to confirm Gary's facts the next morning, that we weren't notified. And I guess this is not, this is the regional school district, but we're all part of it. But
That's absolutely
copy.
should.
no, I understand.
A courtesy copy, at least, yeah.
The coffee,
Not that,
absolutely.
You know, Representative Benson should have notified us too.
I agree.
She has our representative.
And if it's filed by a citizen, that's great. But it's a selectman's husband, and then it's forwarded from the town administrator to other regions throughout the state.
We never received
Except for
any-
Ayer. And you found out from the same source that told the person I found out with. And then I guess I'm annoyed because every issue in Shirley is not caused by the school system, and I'm getting sick and tired of them blaming every financial problem they have over there on our district, and
Well, I
it's really
think
getting under my
The
nerves.
residents kind of got that point across at their town meeting themselves, that the residents, it sounded to me like the residents were trying to tell them, cut it out, get focused, and stop blaming the school on everything. So.
Well, I hope so.
I got the feeling that the residents are getting a little upset over there. with
Well, there's a
some of
lot
the
of good people
shenanigans.
over there that
And
understand what's going on.
Didn't know that we weren't copied on or anything.
Put that in the
They
paper
do
too,
now,
Pierre.
and they should be ashamed of their board for doing that to us.
Thank you for my little rant. Sorry.
You're
Oh,
always
thanks.
entitled
And thank you
to
for
a
bringing it
2-minute
forward,
rant.
Gary.
Yeah, I wasn't too happy when I heard it.
Yeah.
It
No.
was just, bad form.
Absolutely.
All right, so next on the agenda is
the treasurer coming?
approval of, no, not yet. Approval of the minutes for June 2nd and June 9th. I wasn't here on June 9th, but I did have the tweet just to add the fact that I wasn't here. That was, yeah. So, yes, Gary?
Make a motion to approve the Board of Selectmen meetings for, minutes for Tuesday, June 2nd.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Minutes are approved. June 9th?
I'll make a motion to approve the June 9th Board of Selectmen meeting minutes.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Cool. Next.
Robert's looking for Stephanie. Stephanie's sitting right there.
All right. Stephanie, good evening. Right on time, perfect. So now, Chris.
Gotta read these. Yeah,
Now
sorry.
is when you can do it.
All right. Yeah, let's explain that.
Yes.
Saw these on the way here, so bear with me.
Okay. This, what you're going to read, Chris, is a vote of the Board of Selectmen voting, just stating for the record that you're approving this sale.
Okay.
So, I have the real ones there. I guess if you're reading from there, it doesn't really...
Do you want me to read this now, or do we discuss
Yes.
this first? You want me to read this whole thing first?
Yeah. Do you want bigger print?
No. Guys, not that bad yet, I don't think. Haven't read this much. You cross that out, you want me to skip that?
I don't think you need it for the vote. That's just for
Yeah.
the certification.
Yeah.
You just have to approve the,
All right. I guess it would be moved, right? Even though it says voted. To approve the sale of $3,244,149, 1% of general obligation bond anticipation note, the note, of the town dated June 26, 2015, and payable on November 20th, 2015, to TD Securities USA LLC at par, plus premium of $8,240.14. Want me to go through all of them? Just further
Yes,
voted.
you have to read the whole
Okay, I'll
thing.
read the whole thing.
Yeah.
Further voted that in connection with the marketing, I hate being chair, in connection with the marketing and sale of the notes, in preparation and distribution of the notice of sale and preliminary official statement dated May 27, 2015, and the final official statement dated June 10, 2015, each such form as may be approved by the town treasurer and hereby are ratified, confirmed, approved, and adopted. Further voted, the town treasurer and the Board of Selectmen be and hereby are authorized to execute and deliver significant events disclosure undertaking in compliance with SEC Rule 15C2-12 in such form as may be approved by bond counsel to the town, which undertaking shall be incorporated by reference in the notes for the benefit of the holders of the notes from time to time. Get a drink. Further voted, that we authorize and direct the town treasurer to establish post-issuance federal tax compliance procedures in such form as the town treasurer and bond counsel deem sufficient, or if such procedures are currently in place, to review and update said procedures in order to monitor and maintain tax-exempt status of notes. Further voted, that each member of the Board of Selectmen, the town clerk, the town treasurer, be and hereby are authorized to take any and all such actions and execute and deliver such certificates, receipts, or other documents as may be determined by them or any of them to be necessary or convenient to carry into effect the provisions of the foregoing votes.
Continue.
You want to read that final paragraph as well? Mm-hmm. Okay. It was crossed out on mine.
Yeah, but that's certifying a vote that hasn't happened.
Yeah, so I think, I should read that after we vote.
Right. Because you can't certify a vote
Yeah.
that hasn't taken.
It's just a paragraph that says I certify, so. So I'll read that next. We need to vote.
Can I just
reading
speak
it.
at that real quick?
So, these are what we're voting on, as I read.
Right.
And then the bottom paragraph is, I certify that the votes were taken, so I'm gonna read that after we vote.
Right. Okay, so we said,
What?
Sounds like so moved to me.
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Hi.
Aye.
You're on.
You're on.
I further certify that the votes were taken at the meeting upon open to the public, that no vote was taken by secret ballot, that the notice stating the place, date, time, and agenda for the meeting, which agenda included the adoption of the above votes, was filed with the town clerk and copy thereof posted in manner conspicuously visible to the public at all hours in or around the municipal building that the office of the town clerk is located, or if applicable, in accordance with alternative method of notice prescribed or approved by the Attorney General as set forth. Oh, there's more. In 940 CMR 29.032B, look that up, at least 48 hours, not including Saturdays, Sundays, legal holidays, prior to the time of the meeting, remain so posted at the time of the meeting that no deliberations or discussions in connection with the sale of the notes were taken in executive session in accordance with General Law C.30A 18-25 as amended, dated June 16th. Clerk of the Board of Selectmen, which is me, Christopher R. Hillman. You want anything else, social security number, anything like that, or am I good?
No,
How many
but
children did you sell on that?
Wow.
I do have 4 copies for you to sign.
As long as I don't have to read them, that's fine.
Yeah.
No, they're all the same.
Sure.
All you have to do is sign all 4 of them.
Okay.
Now, the notes are, there is actually 2 parts to the notes. The total is $3,244,149. Let's see. That's not it. Here it is. So, out of that, we're renewing $1,430,014 from last year, which was temporary borrowing. And we're adding to that for this year, $1,814,135, which is a total of the 3.2 million. And these are, they're dated June 26, 2015, and they're due November 20th, 2015. And at that time, we will go out for bond, make it permanent borrowing. We accepted the bid of TD Securities. Thank you. And they came in at 0.3650%. They gave us a premium of $8,240.14, which coincidentally is just what they're charging to do these loans. So I have all of the all of the information, all of the paperwork that you have to sign.
The
So-
board or just me?
No, all of you
Oh,
now.
good.
Okay,
Want to
so,
start some of them this way?
sure, that's
I gotta, you gotta check this, because
That's just one copy there. And there are 4 copies in there.
Stephanie, is there just one signature on each packet? Like, is there just one page in each packet?
Yeah,
All right,
yeah,
okay.
right where
All right, yeah,
I have it.
just to keep track of it.
Could you sign me?
I'm sorry.
You don't have any
Did you
going
get
this way, do you? That's gonna be way too.
Yes. I do, yeah, they asked for that.
I'll sign any way I feel like signing. How's that? Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
In rare form tonight, isn't he?
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
He's so fun.
Thinking of you now.
What?
Away.
Can't hear you, what?
Said you smell like a goat. You ever see that? Three Stooges? You ever saw that?
No, that was a little before my time, thank you very much.
So am I.
Ooh.
Getting all crossed up here.
I know, this is gonna be, as long as you know what's going.
Wait a minute, I'm not the town
I
clerk.
need to get on my medicine.
Yes, please get on your mat. We've been begging for it. You get this one?
I get this.
That goes the other way? Did they all
Okay, next
sign
time
that?
maybe we should go in one direction.
Yeah, definitely
Yeah.
check these, Stephanie and Carly.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, this actually, Chris has to go that way.
This one, who doesn't have a Janet? Oh, Gary?
Both of them.
Janice, this one's for you and Gary.
You're talking about me. Yeah, Jay.
As is this one.
Check.
Yeah.
What the heck is it?
We'll go this way from now on, hold on.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
It's, you know, it's like when you're dealing cards. Go the direction that you're dealing cards.
just gave it.
All right, hang on a second, hang on.
Yep.
The one under it.
Hold on. Back
These
the
two.
trolley up.
These two.
All right.
These 3.
Yeah, that's all 3.
Okay. See, this was your idea to go this way, to do this.
There's another one underneath.
But keep this together because that's one packet. The top one, there you go.
All right, Chris.
Those ones are good.
What's this?
Different signature.
And then this goes with this one too. We'll do those.
There's 4 of each one.
Yeah,
Let me finish here.
yeah.
Is that coming back to me?
No, it's
Okay.
going that way. I'm just reading.
Okay.
Maybe next time you can send one right up the middle, too.
Just trying to get educated. all right?
Right.
Here you go, another one. Don't rush me.
God forbid you move quick.
Getting older, I can't move as quick as I
Vitamins, will you?
Geritol.
I'll double up on it.
Remember Ed Sullivan?
We gotta get
Yes.
to executive session here soon.
This one is,
I keep wanting to sign what the town clerk is.
Sure I'm not saying the same one over and over.
I have no idea. I lost track about an hour ago.
It's like walking in the woods. I've seen this tree before.
Chief, how you feeling? Good? You look great.
She's always looking great.
You done?
I don't know. I think so.
What's
I
taking
think so. I think that's the last one.
It's taking so long.
these are all complete.
All right.
Did I ever tell you it's a size 10? Just saying.
I take 10 and a half.
This is
The big feet.
We're good?
I never tip over.
We're gonna get the camera stuff here soon. This is going YouTube. I can feel it.
Make this my nicest signature.
All right, Stephanie, you should have 3 signatures on each one of those little things.
And
That's
triple
what
check,
I'm looking
please.
for. Oh, yeah.
And they should be 3 different signatures, not 3 of the same.
let's see, let's see.
You would have, did.
I'll do that.
And that's something that comes back like 3 months from now. All of a sudden, the state says,
It's- Well, two of the same, that's fine.
yeah. Is that it or is there more?
She's just double checking.
Okay.
And I'll check again tomorrow too, so, before I send them out.
Do you have the executive session packet? For some reason, it didn't send it to me.
Yeah, Robert sent it up there.
Yeah, no, I know he did, and I had it on my phone, it just didn't come up on my,
Okay, everything is all signed. I will check it again tomorrow.
All right, hopefully we didn't mess it up. I just did.
No, you didn't.
All right. Was there anything else?
Nope, that's
Okay.
all.
All right then.
All right,
Thank you very much.
thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening.
I need a motion, make a motion that we move into executive session pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 21 Alpha A. Exemption number 2, non-union personnel and fire chief contract negotiations. To do so in open session could
Be detrimental to
be
the
detrimental
town's
to
negotiation.
the town's negotiation strategy.
Into adjourn.
And we will then adjourn from executive session. We will not be returning to open session.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. It has to be individuals. You asking me?
Yeah, you have to.
Roll call. Gary?
Aye.
Chris?
All right.
Janice says aye. We have now moved into executive session. Good night, everyone.